All right, well, happy Thursday to y'all. Again, I hope you're doing well. Give you an update on some of the customs I'm working. So what I have that you can see right now is this 2020 Ryan Blaney Atlas car. I think he drove this at Indianapolis. Just a couple things about this car. So get into a lot of stuff here in this video. I've yet to paint the rims yellow on this particular one. But the decal set, I had the yellow removed, and this is the 2 coats of white primer and then 1 coat of the Krylon specialty fluorescent color that I'm using for this now, and applying Pado's decals over it. And I've got this on, I think this was earlier today. It's got to wrap around here a little bit to cover up a gap from this decal to this side decal here. But what's interesting is this front, right? So this is one decal here for the whole hood, and then you have these little type decals here that go along the sides and that come in here. Okay, so we'll get that in the water, and we'll get this in the water. We'll get all this stuff in the water here. Just kind of FYI, when I'm doing this, I like to put little tiny cuts into the lettering up here, or actually between the lettering, so that when it goes on, it kind of folds over the edge a little bit better. So I do that before I dip it in the water. Definitely don't like to cut decals after they've been soaked in water. They don't cut very well when they're wet. Sometimes I've actually let them just completely dry out, which is not preferred, and then I'll cut them if I forgot to. But yeah, get all these in here, and we'll kind of continue to go over this car. So yeah, so I'll work this side. But what I'm finding out on a couple of these 2020 Blaney decal sets, where it's the Mustang, right, that this whole front end is red. Okay, so if you look at this decal here, you can see around the headlight there, around the headlight there's no red, right? There's just a line of clear. So when you put this over it, you're going to have yellow exposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these decals on, saving this for last. I'm going to do some pre-painting of red here. It's not going to be a full match, but at least it's going to be red and not yellow. And then I'll be able to apply that. This is black down along the bottom here, this lower valence on the front. So I'll paint that black when I paint this red. And then we'll put that piece on at the very end. The spoiler on this one is actually yellow, and so yeah, so that'll be how I'm going to build this car. And then I'm going to need to paint this white and put the clear sealer on it. I'll probably put 2 coats of clear sealer on it, and then I'll paint it with the fluorescent yellow. Okay. So let me show you the results of some of my work. So these are the rims where I painted it white, and then I put 1 coat of the Krylon on there. You can see that. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm learning. I'm going to need to put some clear sealer over top of that because it is kind of a dull finish. but that's not bad. Right there. This is going to be his Talladega win car. So that's one thing I did there for that. Now the other Talladega win car I have here is, this is where I've put some a coat of clear sealer over top of the rim here. And if you can see, the very center metal piece, I'm going to get my knuckle out of the way, is silver, or is the regular metal, right? I didn't paint that at all. And I'll tell you why I'm showing you that here. Here's the other side. This got a little bit on there, but I may just scrape that clear. But I'm liking it. I think that turned out pretty good. It's not, believe me, it's not perfect. But I'm pretty happy with that. I've got a few more coats of clear sealer on this thing, and this thing will be done. Actually, I gotta bring this black over here so this lines up here. So I got a little bit more black to paint, ever so slightly there on that front. But you can see here around the headlights, I pre-painted it black, and I had to, because it would have showed up yellow here, and that's not what you want. Okay, it's not what you want there. Now you see these rims over here. I actually, oops, it's sticking. These rims were white. They came white from the I just used white rims, okay? And what I did with these is I actually used Tester's fluorescent yellow. I wanted to see what that would look like. This little jar of paint here that I had laying around. And so basically all I did was take the white rims and I just painted them white, or painted them fluorescent yellow, and that's what that looks like. I think they turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them, actually. What's interesting though is, maybe you can see here, this is a little bit better, but the center piece on this set of tires was not painted, that very center metal piece, but on this one it was white. So I had to paint it yellow because obviously I don't want that white. So anyways, that's why they're a little bit different. And to show, let's see if I can do this, how they look. They're obviously, this is more fluorescent, but they look pretty close. I'm gonna use that for this particular one car next. So that's why that's over there. Because I had some white rims hanging out over there, so I figured I'd use those. So that's what's going on there. Let me show you. Let me just pull you over to my computer here, and I'll show you a couple of pictures that I'm using as references for this. So here's the Talladega 2020 win. You can see how this is black down here along the front, black along the sides, spoilers black, roof lines are the body color, and of course the yellow rims. So that's that. This one over here is his Indianapolis car. You can see the Atlas here, Atlas on the hood, and then you can see this lower area here is black. So I'm going to paint that black, and all around the headlights here are red. Notice here, this is black, this is red. So I don't know why there's a gap there in the decal set, but unfortunately that's the case. So yeah, and what's interesting, I just noticed this, and the spoiler here is yellow. That is a NASCAR Salutes logo. That didn't come with the decal set, so that's going to be a shortcoming to match. And of course, oh, I just noticed this too. I shouldn't say of course, but there was some lettering across the back of the roof here that's not in the decal set. So just a couple things. It's a little bit not 100% like it was driven on the track, and you can see the yellow rims, which these are pretty dark from the probably brake dust. So yeah, so those are my references, and then I'm working this other Matt Kenseth 2020 GameStop Rock Candy 2014 nationwide win. I was just looking at this. The side skirts are black, and this front is black, even though it's hard to tell. But just the lower part is black. So I'm going to do that here now. Roof lines are black. Spoilers black, of course. So those are all my pictures from that I'm using to kind of guide me as I build these. Yeah, so here's this. Here's the Mario Kart. This is all done. I've got 5 coats of clear sealer on this. This is all ready to go. Package up here. Just letting it probably dry for another hour or two, and then Mr. DF, your car will be done. I've got 2 coats of clear sealer on this car, and I've got a few more to do. Let's go ahead and do the roof lines and side skirts and stuff for you. Actually, I tell you what. Do the roof lines first. I like to do a Sharpie with the roof lines just because it just does a nicer job. What's weird on this decal set, maybe it's hard to see, but there's these little dots that come with this roof line, and I mean, it's not on the car, but for whatever reason, it's here, and it ties into the coloring here. So I just left it, and it's kind of off to the side. So yeah. Can see how I brace my hand with my pinky here to kind of hold it steady as best as I can. And I'll go over that again, but try to get that as straight as possible. Not overly thick, but as straight as possible. And then we'll use our paint pen do this here. I pre-painted a little bit, but not enough. You can see I did some here, but definitely not enough. And it's not too bad on this side here. It's fairly easy to cover up stuff on these side skirts. I still haven't received my decals yet from Mr. Pato. I keep saying Pato, but I think somebody told me it's Pato. I don't know. I've never talked to the man, so I maybe at some point it would be good to get his name properly pronounced. But anyways, I have not received them yet. I'm expecting them this week. Today's Thursday. Would love to get them in, and then I'll be able to start working on that 2016 NOS for Mr. IH, and also Mr. WH to start getting your customs in the works. You've got 5 here that I want to work for you, and yeah, looking forward to doing those. I appreciate you guys' patience. I don't know if I say that enough with me working these things. I know that you guys are collectors. You see a paint scheme and you're like, hey, I really want that, and then you have to wait and wait and wait for it. It can be kind of frustrating. I remember when I made, so this might have been like 10 years ago. I got in contact with a custom diecast maker, right? And this is obviously before I started making them. And I said, hey, I'd really like to have, these Matt Kenseth cars done. I think I just asked for maybe one of them. And the guy's like, yeah, no problem, I can do that. And it was months before I got it. And I was kind of frustrated, right? I was like, hey, what's going on? Where, are you gonna, what, why is it taking so long, And now I know. I shouldn't laugh when I paint this, but now, now I know the durations for this stuff is not, very quickly done. So and I'll go over that again to make sure it all lines up. There's it's a little off here, but I'll make sure that all lines up. And then we'll put a couple more coats of clear sealer on that, and then Mr. DF, your 2 cars are done. All right. So on this furniture row reclamation project, I have done, I think, everything that I need to on this, and I know gentlemen's have been waiting. Got everything built back up here on the front, and the last step is to paint this orange across this front here. And so I just put, earlier this morning, I put a coat of clear sealer on this. I'm going to let that dry a little bit longer, and so later today I'll go ahead and paint this orange across the front lower valence, and that'll be it. That'll be done. I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. I mean, again, it's not perfect. It's not as good as when I initially made it, but from a quote-unquote cleanup effort, I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. And I had to sacrifice another decal set to get all these decals in here, but that's the price you pay, right? For building this. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I don't have to put it all back together. The gentleman did take the plastic pieces apart, so this is I'll just secure this together really well and mail it back to him in a box, so that he's going to be responsible for putting it all back together. So that's the status of that. I built this other NASCAR Authentics Juan Pablo Montoya 2011 Cars 2 car, and I'm going to put it in this, let's see if I can grab this here, put it in this case. So I've got, I think, 2 or 3 more coats of clear sealer to put on this puppy, and I may use that Tamiya X22 on this. I'll just comment on that real quick. So the Tamiya X22, I really like it. To be honest with you, I really like it, but I'm going to tell you this: I don't like it when I use a Sharpie for the roof lines. This does not work well with the Sharpie. It just disperses it. So what I've done is I'll put, and on this one I actually painted the roof line black here very carefully. But since everything here is painted, the front is painted white, obviously the car is painted, roof lines are painted. I'll put another coat, which will be 3 coats of clear sealer on it, and then I can put 1 or 2 coats of this and be done with it. But for example, like on that Rock Candy car, since I do the roof lines in black, I'm not going to use this, because the Sharpie, the black Sharpie on the roof lines, this will get to it and it'll make it run. Even if I put 2 or 3 coats of clear sealer on it, it still seems to get to it, which I don't like, obviously. So this is a good product. I do like it. It's just, it's not for everything. So you got to be careful on that front. Okay. And I've got I already kind of showed you this. This has got 2 coats of clear sealer with 3 more to go. And actually, I may be able to use the Tamiya on this because there's no Sharpie used on this anywhere. So that might be the ticket for that. And then I'm working this. So here's what I'm doing with this Kyle Busch Sports Clips. Sport. It's no S. It's Sport Clips. I'm putting it in this box, and this is weird. I found this piece of metal, and I just painted it actually yesterday, and I'm going to put it here across the bottom. And so when I bring my ties down together, I'll be able to tie it around this piece, and that way the car is not coming off of the base in any way, shape, or form. So that's my answer for this. And this is really lightweight. It's not really adding much to it. It's very, very lightweight. And I fished these through right before the video, so this is ready to be mounted, and I'm probably going to list this tonight on eBay if all goes well. Yeah, and so that'll be a nice little display case for a Kyle Busch 164 collector. So that's what's going on there. Yeah, so Mr. RA, your cars are just about done. And Mr. TW, your cars are just about done. When I get these fluorescent yellow Ryan Blaney cars moved further along, then hopefully, so today's Thursday. I'm hoping by Monday we'll be able to ship these things out to you. But yeah, we'll see how things go. I am very I mentioned this in my last video, interested in how the Super Bowl is going to play out. I mentioned that I'm struggling a little bit as to who I'm going to root for. But I think I have come to a conclusion that I'm going to root for Tampa Bay. As much as I like Kansas City, they won last year, and I'm all for spreading the love, right? Football socialism, sharing the crown. And so Tampa Bay, have they won a Super Bowl before? I think they have. Didn't they beat the Raiders? I'm thinking they beat the Raiders. But anyways, I've decided I'm going to root for Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we'll see. We'll see if they can pull it out or not. Going with the underdog. And what's interesting, Brady, what is he, 43 years old? I don't think he's going to retire. Even if he wins, I think he's coming back. That's crazy. I mean, he's blessed. Obviously, he's blessed with good genes and a healthy career so far. But he's also a guy who has taken his God-given ability and maximized it. He doesn't eat a bunch of crap. He's very regimented with his diet and obviously his exercise and his training. So my hats go off to him. I mean, I think that's terrific. You know, for somebody to take that God-given ability and not squander it. I mean, he's been doing this for 20 years, 20-some years, right? I mean, just crazy. At the highest level. This is his 10th Super Bowl. It just amazes me. Those people are inspiring, you know, and people that just want to be the best that they can possibly be, and not let their one life, you know, be squandered. You know, they're doing everything that they can to make the most of it. And I think that's great. Those are the people I think to look up to. Is he a perfect man? No, he's not. Obviously, Jesus is our perfect example. But it's good to see, you know, human beings. Oh, did I just call Jesus not a human being? He's a human. God and man. But it's good to see, you know, other human beings like us that are not deity, you know, just use their abilities and continue to strive. And that's great. You can see how this wraps around a little bit. There's a little bit of yellow showing through. But and it kind of tucks here. Needs to tuck here on both sides. And then this little piece here. You can see how that goes. That actually lines up pretty well. Yeah, I really like this time of year. Super Bowl, and then we have the Busch Clash, and then the Daytona 500 is just a couple weeks away. That's awesome. I told you guys before, I'm a football fan. I'm a NASCAR fan. And when you have the Daytona 500 and the Super Bowl right next to each other here in this month, it's awesome. Very excited. Even though my man Ken Seth isn't driving, like I said, I got to pick a new driver. I got to do that at some point. Like I said, I'm not sure I have said that, but I'm going to have to pick a driver. If I really want to continue to be a NASCAR fan, it's hard to watch races without having a favorite driver. So, all right, guys, looks like I am running out of time. Time flies on these videos. I know they're like 29 minutes, but they just fly by, it seems, when I'm making them. But hope you guys enjoy this video, and we will talk to you in the next one. God bless. Take care. We'll see you.